Good morning. So some of you requested that I film a video on what my day looks like as a trader, including my trading routine and just my overall morning and day routine. So this is the video that you all asked for. Actually, it's really important to me now to wake up in gratitude. So first thing I actually do every day is open my blinds wide and have a look outside at the beautiful view, which is changing every day. So let's take a look at that. So this is the view from my bedroom. This is what I see when I wake up and open the blinds every day. We've got the beautiful ocean over here, and I actually really love it when I can see the big ships coming in. I don't know why, but that just screams freedom to me. We haven't got any today though. And then over this side is the city view, which we can also see from the kitchen. So let's go in there now. And this is the view from my kitchen living area. And honestly, I just come and sit here usually for about 10 minutes in the morning and just feel grateful. And I don't know if that's weird, but I find it's a really beautiful way to start my day and gets me in a really good mood. In addition to that, whilst I'm here, I will also grab myself some of this Trader's Edge. I actually find this to be a really good mood stabilizer. I'm not much of a stimulants kind of person, but I find this really helps me with clarity and focus, and especially when I'm going to the gym, it doesn't make it feel like such a drag, which is what we're going to be doing next. So as you can see, I am almost out of that. I only have about that much because it sends me crazy otherwise if I have too much. And then throw in filtered water, which my friend taught me is so important to not drink tap water. All right, let's go to the gym downstairs. I've got the entire gym to myself. This is so good. All right, I'm going to switch this off whilst I work out because I like to listen to motivational podcasts or finance ones or Bitcoin ones or anything like that whilst I'm working out to help me get through it. So I will be back when I'm done with this workout. Okay, I'm still here, but I just realized that the crypto market is dumping and I have scheduled a video to go on YouTube tonight that is actually a high risk, high APY reward strategy, and it's the perfect time for you guys to have a watch of it. So it was scheduled for tonight, but I'm actually just stopping my workout right now to schedule it to go live now so that you guys can get your hands on it. And now I've got to do some posts and whatever to let you guys know that it's out there so that you guys will watch it immediately, because I need the immediate watches to help get the videos around the internet. So quick pause and then back to the gym. Alright, I'm done with my workout, so I am going to now go to my favourite smoothie bowl place and get myself a maki bowl. And then, yeah, time to do some charts. I actually don't like charting until at least an hour or two into the new daily open. So as I'm filming this, it's 11:16. The daily open only opened 15 minutes ago. So, and I have a meeting at 1 o'clock. So yeah, I'm just gonna go chill out for a bit and then have a look at the charts in about an hour. Alright, so you guys know that I have a little cat because she always features in my YouTube videos, Sakura, but you might not know I also have a little puppy, and I've had him for ages. He's really quite old and he's mostly blind and now going deaf. He hasn't even realized that I'm home. There's little Sakura, doesn't give a shit. Here we go, he just woke up. Hey puppy. Hey, these are the loves of my life. My baby, say hello. This is Jet, everyone. And he always sits at my feet when I'm filming, that's why you don't see him. Hey buddy. Cutie. Check it out. Delicious. I don't know why I got a coffee, but anyway, that's what we're doing today. All right, so whilst I sit here and eat my breakfast, let's reflect on what I listened to when I was at the gym. So I didn't watch, it was a YouTube video, but I just listened to it. It was an interview of this trader named 𝗟𝗶𝗃𝗏. It was really interesting because he was talking about the emotion cycle of trading and how the market reacts to emotion and how like things have changed so much and it's so much more blown out now because of social media. And that back in the day, like you wouldn't be able to gauge the sentiment of other traders because we didn't have social media. And now you can pretty much just like go to Twitter and see like if everyone's crazy bullish that, you know, something is probably going to change soon. And that he usually cops a bit of flack when he goes against the sentiment. So he was talking about his journey as a trader and like how long it took for him to be profitable. And he was saying it was like a 5-year journey, and that even when it got to the stage that you would call yourself profitable, it was like a 10 grand month, a 10 grand month, and then 15 grand backwards. And so the overall result was profitable, but it was still big losses. And so he would then have to go back to the drawing board and relearn the lessons and whatnot. And I found his story to be super interesting. So I'm going to link it in the description of this video, because I think if you're learning to trade, to hear the story of highly experienced traders that have been around in many markets for so long is so important. And it's all part of my study process. So I have to have a minimum of 2 to 3 hours study a day on the markets. That's a no-brainer for me. And so studying in any capacity it's a non-negotiable for me. Like I have to study something for a minimum of 2 to 3 hours a day. And that could be just listening to a podcast of a successful trader and hearing their journey and learning, you know, from the lessons that they speak of. It could be learning a new strategy. It could be studying, you know, financial history, the markets, trading strategy. It could be anything. And most of my study is visual or audible. So I'm not much of a reader. I actually can't concentrate if I read. I have to hear or watch something and then go and do it. So yeah, that by doing it that way, it means that like I can listen to things and learn as I'm doing other things, like obviously going to the gym. So yeah, I guess that would be 1 hour down of my study for the day. And I'm going to finish this and then head over to charts. I'm going to flip to my computer, show you my daily routine. All right, so before I get into charts, I just take a quick look. Every time I upload a new video, I kind of get a little bit obsessed with watching and having a look at the views and seeing how many people are watching it, liking and commenting. It's really important that those views come in as soon as my video gets posted so that it can get around. So I get a little bit obsessed with these numbers, just like treat it just like a trade. And it helps me to gauge, like, you know, what sort of content people are responding to, what do they like and whatnot. So this one just went up when I was in the gym not too long ago. We're at 135 views so far. Not too bad. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then I also have to come down and monitor the comments because there's so many bots that leave fake comments like this one. So I have to sit there, go through all of these things, report them so that you guys watching don't get scammed by any of these people in my comments. That's another one. Here's another one. There's so many of them. So that actually takes me quite a bit of time every day, actually sitting here watching all these bots and reporting them. And anyway, once I'm done with that, head over to the chart. So first thing I'm looking at always is what is Bitcoin doing on a higher time frame. So head over to the daily. Currently still in this wedge, which I was expecting us to stay in anyway. So if you look at this as the wedge, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and this was the 5th touch. Usually you get the 5 touches and then you get the breakout. So what we would need now is to see, will we get a double bottom, you know, and come back to around 34K, or will we get a higher low and then break out to the upside, or will we get a lower low, in which case we're still very much in a downtrend. So still within the wedge, and whilst we are underneath this trend line, I'm still only looking for shorts, not only under the trend line but also under the EMA. So I really only pay attention to the EMAs on the daily time frame, and it's the 10 and 20 that I pay attention to. Also having a quick look at RSI to see if there's any divergences or anything going on there that might signal a change soon. And I also like the BBWP, which currently on the daily is showing me that the consolidation area, which would be this whole zone here, is maturing, and that basically just means that a breakout is coming soon. You can see here we had it mature for a number of days, and price here did nothing for a number of days, and then eventually it broke down. So it doesn't tell us which way it's going to break out, just tells us that a breakout could be coming soon, so get ready. And then you can see as it gets closer towards the end of that maturation, the volume starts to rise again. So we don't have rising volume yet. So it could be another couple of days of, you know, not too much excitement. On the lower time frame, we have broken that 4-hour trend line. I did open this short here, but at the end of the day, until we actually get below, say, the 35,700 level, we're still just ranging between these two levels here anyway. So need to crack that as a step one, and then maybe that's where the higher low comes in, or we come back to the 34. So now that I get an idea that, you know, Bitcoin on a shorter time frame has broken trend and is heading down, I'm pretty much bearish on everything else. So next thing I'll go to check is Ethereum. And Ethereum, I was waiting for price to come back up into this supply zone, but because I thought Bitcoin was going to break down, I wasn't confident that Ethereum would get all the way there. Got close. So now I'm basically just reassessing that. And we do have a rejection between the 50 and the 61.8 fib. So Ethereum is still bearish to me as well. And so now all I'm really going to do is just set my areas that I think we might bounce. So 2,500 sort of area is going to be the first one. And so then I'll just move my support up to there. So I always have an alert on my support and resistance lines, and all I really need to do is just move the line around to wherever I want the alert to trigger. And whilst the price is in between these two levels, there's not really anything for me to do. So I don't need to come back to this unless one of those alerts go off. Now, my usual routine from here would be to then look at things that I want to invest in long term. However, because I've now assessed Bitcoin and Ethereum and I'm bearish on both, there's no TA to do to buy into altcoins for the long term, because I wouldn't buy into altcoins for the long term unless I felt Bitcoin was at support and had a potential of turning around. So because Bitcoin is kind of at the point where it looks like we're going to head down further, all I'm really doing at this point in time is assessing on a higher time frame that if it does head further down, where's the next support? And the next daily support is down here at 35,000. So that's going to be my next area to reassess. If I get a bounce off support there, that will create the double bottom within the wedge, which would actually signal a potential change in trend and we could head up. So if we got that, then the next step would be a breakout. Once we get that breakout, that's when I'll start looking at altcoins to invest in. So all I'd really do until that happens is set some ideal kind of buy zones, but I'm not buying until I think the whole market is turning bullish again. So I have my HODL coins list here. Now these, I have them separated. So I have coins that I know that institutions are going to invest in. I've done a video on this on my channel. I'll link it up somewhere in case you want to watch it. But these are the ones that I'm looking to invest in should the market turn around, and they are my first priority. So quick flick through those. I've already done Ethereum. So Solana, originally I had a support level at 98. It's broken down. So all I really do from there is move that line down to where it's now formed support. Ideally, I actually want to buy Solana down here at 80, but I want to know every time it hits a new support so that I can reassess in case it doesn't get all the way down there, and also have my resistance in so that if it's already found support and starts to change market structure, well, then I could buy in there as well. So other than reassessing my support and resistance zones on the daily, the only other thing that I'm really taking a quick look at is the EMAs and price in relation to the EMAs. Currently, the price on Solana is right in the middle of the two EMAs. So that's a no trade zone for me anyway. In order for this to be a buy for me, price would have to break up above those EMAs, come back to test them, and then head up from there. If they did that, that's going to be a break of resistance as well anyway. So kind of 110 is the level for me for now, unless it breaks this support and heads further down. Then if it can hold at 80, I think that would be a great area to buy. Worst case scenario would be around 66. Going through the next ones on my list. So Luna, there's still a chance that it might come down this low. So there's nothing I need to change on my TA for this. Now it goes to show the video that I'm talking about, I think I filmed about a week ago or whatnot. So it goes to show that when you do TA, sometimes you have to have a lot of patience, and you might draw something up, but you might not actually get the entry signal for weeks later. So again, whilst the price is in between my support and resistance, I've got alerts on my support and resistance, and there's nothing for me to do whilst it's in between between that zone. Moving on to Matic. So with Matic, I can see that the trend has changed, and I'm also going to move my resistance down a little bit too, just to the candle closes. Moving on to Algo, did have the resistance alert go off with that wick, but just going to reset that because we're still in the zone. And then AVAX is the final one that I'm looking to invest in. It was also creating a 4-hour ascending triangle that was skeptical because I was expecting Bitcoin to come down and bring that down as well. So this setup is no longer relevant. And because we've got all these wicks above, I'm actually going to move that resistance level up a little bit higher because I don't want to be buying into that volatility, and nothing else I need to change there. So now that I know what I'm looking at with my long-term investments and they're not really ready for anything just yet, I can start looking for day trades if I want. So for day trades, I'm going to head over to CoinGecko. And because the market is bearish, what I'm most interested in is what has dropped the most that might now be having a bounce. So I'm going to change this 7-day until it brings up the highest losses for 7 days. And then I'm looking to the 1 hour for anything that is starting to turn green. So immediately what stands out to me is that Loopring, for one, is down 18.7% and is currently up 0.7%. So I'm going to go have a look at Loopring for one. And so there's a possibility that this could be a higher low according to the daily time frame. I can move this up here. So this looks like the new support that was previously just a wick resistance. And looking further left, it was a previous resistance as well. So it's still under the EMAs on the daily, but this could be the beginning of a higher low. I don't really think it is. I think it will come down back to support at this stage. However, as long as we're under the EMAs on the daily, the bias is bearish. But now I'm going to go to look at the 4-hour to see, is there any potential change in trend trying to happen? And on the 4-hour, if I draw out this trend line, it becomes obvious that we had this break in trend. So for all we know, this could be the beginning of the turn of the market. So I'm not looking for shorts at the end of a very long-term downtrend. I'm only going to look for a change in trend, and so I'm going to draw fibs on it, and it's currently at the 61.8, so that's not too bad. I'm going to leave this for a few more 4-hour candles, see if we get some bullish closes with a hammer, bullish engulfing. And the other thing too, when you look at this, is if you line up where price is holding now, it looked like it was previous resistance here, and this could be the support flip. So this actually could be a good long coming up soon, but I'm going to give it a few more candles. It also depends. If Bitcoin does continue down, then this is probably going to break this level too. So definitely not going to jump in on this, even though I see potential where it is right now. And that's it. So that's I call it day trading, but really this trade might not be ready for a few days to a week even. You can go back to CoinGecko and see if there's anything else that looks like that. 𝗟𝗲's had 12.5% drop over the last 7 days, currently 0.9% up. And basically that's all I'm doing, is making my way down the list to see biggest losses because we're in a downtrend. Is anything starting to turn around? Then go and chart that. If the market was bullish, I'd be doing it the other way. So I would be sorting this by the highest percentage and looking for some red on the 1 hour. Once my alerts are set for all those opportunities, then I'm done until they go off. So no need to look at the charts again until an alert goes off for new opportunities. And the next thing is to manage my already open trades, of which I only have a short open on Bitcoin at the moment. Oh, sorry, actually I had one on Mana as well. So looking at my Mana trade, that's going well. Don't really have anything to worry about here. I do think that I'm going to hit my take profit. So that's just a matter of waiting. That's going well. And then the other short that I have at the moment is on Bitcoin, which I already have assessed and know that it's bearish. So this is my short order that's in now. My first target is here at 36,050. I had that one because I was looking at the heat map when I noticed that there was a lot of long orders at 36,000. I don't know if that's still the case, so let's have a look. Yeah, so having a look at the heat map, the highest orders are at 35,800, and I wouldn't even consider that to be high. So really don't have anyone. Well, we don't have huge, that one just flashed there. Massive orders are coming in at 33,900. See how that's flashing yellow? That's huge orders coming in. That's 1,000 Bitcoin worth down to 278. So big games going on here. So that ends up being right before we head into this demand zone. So I have my first target up here, which would give me a 2-to-1 trade anyway, or 2.5 to 1 trade. So I'm happy with that, but I may be lucky enough to get it all the way down to here. And I may also, just depending on how those orders go over the day, I might also even put in a spot buy for Bitcoin just above this level for long-term investment portfolio. So that's pretty much my afternoon routine for my charting. I won't come back to the computer to check the charts now until we have the 4-hour candle close in 2.5 hours time. And then I do that again in the next 4 hours, and then the last one before bed. That only takes me about 10 minutes to do, because all I'm checking on those ones is, did any of my alerts go off that I've set this morning? And number 2 is, should I be taking profits on any open trades? So I don't know, that whole process took me about 20 minutes, half an hour maybe. And then in addition to that, for me to check those few extra times throughout the day is probably going to take me a total of half an hour. So depending on your trading strategy, I guess, when you're trading a higher time frame and you consider yourself to be a full-time trader, it's really only a couple of hours work a day if you feel like getting on the computer. There are days where I just don't even feel like trading. For example, I don't trade weekends because I have to allow myself the time to rest and recuperate and re-energize and have fun, because very easy to sit in front of a computer all day trying to make money and having no social life, not getting outdoors, just not having the discipline to take care of your health, eating well, exercise, all those sorts of things. So for me, there are some times where I will break that weekend rule, and that will just be in times of super high volatility and, just really, really good trading opportunities. And I will do a quick 10-minute check on the weekends, but for the most part, I'm not actively looking for trades on weekends like I, have just shown you the process just now. All right, so I got to go off to a meeting now. I'll check back with you in a few hours. So that ended up being quite an emotional meeting, but a good one. I think it was a good one. So I'm just going to chill out for a bit. I think there's like an hour left before I need to check the charts. And usually this time of day, I actually make a really big effort to get outside and, especially in summer, have a bit of time in the sun. But it's a bit shitty today. And now I'm kind of like, just feeling emotional. So I'm just going to hang out with my dog, and I'll come back and check the charts with you on the next candle close. All right, so this is my late afternoon candle close check of what's going on. Bitcoin trade looks to be doing fine so far, nothing to worry about there. Mana is very close to my take profit. This is a bounce off the 38 fibs, so I'm just going to watch that one, see how it goes. But so far, so good. So that's all I really do in the afternoon. Just check over open trades. None of my alerts have gone off, so there's nothing else for me to check there. And now I'm just going to work on my social media content planning, where I come in here, set up how I want my Instagram to look and schedule all the pictures in place. And then a couple times a week, I'll just come in and write posts to go with those pictures, and then that automatically also updates on my Facebook page. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the afternoon until it comes time to film for YouTube tonight. Check-in for the day. There's not really much else left for me to film. I've just done my second last chart check for the evening. My trades are still going fine. They haven't hit their targets yet, but they're on the way, so nothing really to change there. None of my other alerts went off. So now I'm going to have some dinner and then get ready to film my YouTube, which I usually film right before the sun goes down, and then edit, usually end up finishing doing all of that around 11 p.m, then bed. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. So wait, I'm back already. So whilst I'm editing this video, I just thought to myself, what do you guys actually like this kind of vlog style video? So let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this and want to see more day in the life of trader type videos. Don't forget, like, subscribe, turn on the bell notification, leave me a comment, all that kind of jazz.